Lions inside the den yesterday, and it really was cool to see. I do like the way that they really, Lindsay, this is the most I've ever seen the curtain pulled back, where they are in there on draft night, taking you through how everything broke down, and some of the things are great to see because it reiterates some of the thoughts I had. Some of the stuff is new and kind of lets you inside and to see how things truly do shake out. And Lindsay, what they were able to do with Gibbs in drafting Gibbs, they took a chance.
Right.
They moved back. They still got their guy.
Right.
So it was everything that we talked about. When we were down in Royal Oak at Fifth Avenue doing the draft show, that was kind of my whole point was I said, they got their guy. You can agree, not agree, the running back situation, whatever. That was their guy. They got their guy, and they were compensated to do it. That really goes to show you the depth of what happened in that draft room that night.
Absolutely. And even hearing them say they would have taken him higher.
If they were stuck at 6, they were still going to take him.
If they were stuck at 6, they were going after their guy.
Right.
And most organizations, that's what they do.
Yes.
They pick the guys that there are a few guys that are probably on their list that, hey, we're going to take this guy if he's available, and then so on and so forth. When you get your guy, you go after your guy regardless of what everybody else says, whatever the noise is around you. You know what you prepare for. You know who you've spent the most time doing background checks on and knowing the character of this guy. And you know if that guy fits your personality, fits your the style of
if
play,
you have him
everything.
pegged. If you have him pegged. And look, like I see Brandon Katz in there. He says Holmes could have drafted Bijan or Carter. He took an undersized. Look, and look, Katz, there's another. We'll talk about that later on. I'm not even so much discussing the pick per se. What changes this football team and the trajectory of this football team and this franchise and this town is the philosophy, Brandon, that he got his guy and got compensated to get his guy. Think about that. That's big brain. We haven't seen big brain around here.
Well, if you look at the history of like great organizations that draft well, they seem to do it. This formula works for everybody. It's not just new. It's not something new. But you have to have a strong enough front office to stand on what they're doing and not be bothered by the outside noises of people saying who they should draft, what they should do. No, you do, what you think is best for your organization and your situation. And that was their guy. So, yeah, they could have drafted a ton of guys, but they pegged their guy, and that's who they stuck with. And I'm glad to see them do it.
Yeah, and in and above all that, like their guy, talented running back, in and above all that, I'm talking about the philosophy.
Yes.
To say we can still get the guy we want, and that you're going to hear this as an overriding theme, and get compensated to do it. Who else would have done that? What other Lion general manager or anybody within the Lions organization would say, hey, I got a way I can still get the guy I want and get more? Now, so not only, like, we got to open our minds to this here at Dispo and Romeo, right? Right. Yeah. Spenny knows. You got to open your mind to this concept here. This is why it's different. This is why it's going to work. This is why Brad Holmes is here to stay, because of the approach he takes to the draft. And the inside the den was great. And like I know people are talking about production value. The only thing that mattered to me was seeing the philosophy, Lindsay.
Right.
And they were going back and forth. They're like, it's a risk. But see, here's the deal too. I think Brad Holmes had other guys pegged. Obviously, you have other guys pegged.
Of course.
He had every contingency plan lined up and everything that was going to work. Yeah. You know, and Lindsay, look, you've been a part of front offices in the NBA. You've been a part of drafts. You've been a part of all that. This phenomenon, it may be new to us, but you said something interesting where you said, when you look at good teams and what they do, this is how they operate. It's new to us, so I'm still stunned.
and that one thing that bothers me about Lions fans, you guys have not had a successful front office in a long time, right? Things haven't been ran this way, never. So, and you haven't won. So why not jump behind and support these guys for doing something that's different from what you're accustomed to? You haven't won anyway.
Right.
Now the organization's headed in the right direction, and you still want to complain about who they're drafting? Shut the hell up and get on the bandwagon.
Right.
You know? Because when they start winning, everybody's going to be, I told you, Brad Holmes was doing the right thing. I would have drafted this same running back. You wouldn't have done shit. You're complaining about him now. You wanted to draft somebody else. They could have did this or they could have got this guy. No, they got their guy. Point blank.
Ryan's reaction. You guys remember Neil's face when the philosophy unfolded and we picked Jack Campbell. Right? See, Ryan, you're talking about like specific guys. That's not the point of this discussion to me. That's not the point of why I think the Lions franchise has turned a corner and continues to turn a corner. The guys are immaterial. Right. The philosophy of how they go about getting them is what's new. That's what's exciting. That's what ensures that they're going to be good for a very, very long time. That's it. DNCNT says it well. The Cardinals gave us Sam Laporta for moving back to still get Brad's guy.
There you go.
That's it. That's all, man. Like that. That's it. That's all. So not only did he get the guy he wanted at the front, he got the guy he wanted at the back end of the trade too.
Right.
And got paid to do it.
See, and to me, I always look at it from a San Antonio Spurs standpoint. I've always watched how they draft, and you watch the guys that they draft because they have a tremendous development system there. Dude, they got Hall of Famers in the late first and the second rounds.
Yeah.
They got championship caliber players with late picks. You know what I'm saying? And when everybody else was poo-pooing those picks and saying, who is this guy? Well, I mean, dude, Tony Parker was a late first. Mono Ginobili was a, second round
Second
pick.
rounder, yeah.
2 Hall of Famers. So, but they have a process. They have a system. They have a way of doing things that they don't care what everybody else says. They don't care what everybody else is doing. This is how we do it.
Right. And because everyone points to the Tim Duncan thing, right? Like, oh, you got the bounce of the lottery ball, which they did.
Yeah.
But they won championships because of Parker, because of Ginobili, because they capitalized on the opportunity.
There you go.
Like when Spencer Raxter hits a good shot in golf and hits an iron to 7 feet, you got to make that putt, Spencer, or it's just a regular-ass shot.
I'm money on the green.
There it is.
Money on the green. They call me Two-Putt Spenny.
Two-putt Spenny?
Yeah.
What do they call you out here at Dispo?
They call me Two-Puff Spenny.
Yeah, see there, yeah. Absolutely. 2PS. Got to get him a hat. 2PS.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Puff Spenny.
I love it, Spenmo. Brandon Katz says Neil's excited by a team drafting second-round players in the first round.
Brandon, shut the fuck up.
Brandon, no, bro. Philosophy. We're separate from the guys right now. We're separate from the guys that they took. We're talking about philosophy and how it's a new philosophy to the people around here because we've never seen it before. BigCon51 asked me in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Algonac also says, I have faith in Holmes. We're going to Arrowhead opening night and destroying Kansas City. We're starting the season 3-0 and going 13-4. I hope that's how.
That's what I'm talking. Who is that? Who said that?
That was Algonac in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread.
See, he's all in. Spinmo, Algonac is all in.
Yeah, well, good for Algonac.